Been speaking with Hector for a while now on doing a rigging video for the 8-inch shad and the Cadence trout. This is going to be a 3-part video. First part, basic rundown of the baits and rigging with the owner beast hook. Part 2 and 3, extra rigging and tuning options, with the third part being a special trap hook rig. Part 1 for me, bait selection. I usually go with the 8-inch trout pattern shad, or I go with the 9.5 Cadence trout. That's my preference on throwing these baits. I typically run a Tatula 300 with the 300 series reels. I like to spool it with 17-pound line. 400 series reels, I typically like to go with 20 plus size line for cadence purposes. Reel speed 6.3 to the high 5s. I mean, those are the newer reels. It's the way it rolls now with the newer reels. Again, my line size, I go with 17-pound Seagar Abrajex, or I go with 20-pound Seagar Abrajex. With the lighter rigging of the 8-inch shad, I'll usually typically run 17-pound line with 3/4 ounce beast hook rig. I'll go 17 to 20, and Cadence I usually stick with the 20. Rods I use, I fish out of a kayak. It'll apply different if you're in a boat. You could probably get away with a lot lighter action rod. I typically go extra heavy. Since I'm in a kayak, I have to deal with kayak physics and setting hooks, so I can't take that step back. I usually go with my 908, which is a huge rod. Key for me is getting that bait as far out as I possibly can and long as retrieve as I possibly can. I feel like that's the juice on getting good quality fish of a lifetime. But yeah, again, you could probably go with a lighter size rod out of a boat, being able to take that step back to drive that hook home. We're gonna do a basic rigging on the 8-inch shad. It applies to all the baits, how I start the screw lock. I highly recommend using Hector's screw lock. It does a really good job on holding the nose together. The nose of the bait usually doesn't blow out hardly at all, if ever. I usually start by driving the center pin directly in the center of the nose of the bait and starting that screw at about 1 or 2 o'clock. And then I'll just twist, and then I'll just make sure it's center the whole way. These baits have been beat up pretty good. I don't know if you can see in the video. I'll try to show this one. It's been chewed up pretty good, but keep twisting, make sure it's dead center. Look straight, keep twisting till it gets to that point. I like to start at 1 or 2 o'clock. It gets that line tie straight and butted up against the nose of the bait just right. And then I like to line my bait up. I know where my hook's popping out. Keep my finger there, put it in, and pop her right through. And then that is your basic flare out the bottom. And that is your basic rigging. So if you can see the head hits on this bait, it's been hit pretty good. Not quite sure if you can see the head on it. I'll try to get some glare to run across the top and all those bite marks. But yeah, first part, rigging, the tools of the trade I use to throw these baits and why I throw them. Stay tuned for part 2.